Cowabunga, dudes! Time for the top tier TMNT game. We've done all the scrolling beat 'em ups. Let's do the new one.
That's right, we're finally here. Performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too.
Hey, do not be dissing the DK rap.
No, I'm dissing Nick, Dej, because of the way they've been. Anyway, yay!
Man, I gotta say, after watching that YouTube upload of the original 5-part of the first season of the 80s show and listening to this, whew, man, it's night and day.
It really is.
Yeah, I've heard Nickelodeon apparently had some tomfoolery going on.
They refused to pay the copyrights to the original version of the theme song, and the new version they replaced it with is crap. Let's just say.
They made a new version of this.
Apparently that's been a problem for decades. So I'm surprised they still don't fix it after that long.
Yeah.
But this version is pretty cool, actually.
So yes, you can tell this is taking inspiration from the '80s show.
Well, that's because
a lot of stuff does.
Like almost everything that Paramount have been doing with the series.
That's not true. Mutants. That's not true. The new movie doesn't, does it?
And Rise of the TMNT wasn't based off the 80s show.
I meant in its use of nostalgia for the older one.
Oh, basically, Dej, he wants 2003 nostalgia.
So do I.
Okay. My guess is that Dweebs is referring to how, usually in regards to like crossovers or whatnot, the 80s show is the one that usually acts as a representation. Which, I don't mind, but I can get why some people would prefer some other takes.
One cool thing about this game is that it does have a New Game Plus feature. If you already completed the game at least once, you can actually start a new game with all your power levels carried over. So, pretty cool. Which I will do, indeed. I'm playing it in co-op with my brother.
So, fun fact, Pedro and I were supposed to do a co-op playthrough, but the day we were going to do it, my TV died.
Yep. Alright, so here's how to play. Okay, if you've played any of the TMNT scrolling beat-em-up games that we've done up until this point in this channel, you know exactly what you're in for. You'll feel right at home. Like, pretty much everything is here.
I'm guessing it was intentional that they took inspiration from those old...
Yeah, specifically the two arcade games. TMNT and TMNT2 Turtles in Time. There you go, Rising Attack. This game is also full of... But it's not just those two games, Joe, but this game is full of nods to pretty much all of the TMNT games.
Even the first one?
Well, the first one was the arcade game, like I said.
How about that first NES one?
Well,
yeah,
the arcade. If I remember correctly, yes, it does, Jova. We're about to get in a moment, actually. Although, if I remember correctly, I think the first arcade game came shortly before the first NES game.
So, how different are the control schemes of each character?
No, as you can see for how to play, pretty much all the characters have the same controls. It's just the difference of moves. The actual way you do the moves is the same, basically. There you go. Wake up. You can have a wake up roll. There you go. Basically takes everything from the previous games and expands upon it with new moves and like an overall wider assortment of moves that you can play with. Alright, now here's a co-op thing. Alright, Jovan, so you see there, notice what April says now.
Yeah, we all knew that was coming.
Yeah, the game is full of clever little nods like that only older fans will get. I'm guessing you know what that was a reference to, right, Edge?
No idea.
It's basically her catchphrase.
It's her catchphrase from the first NES game, Edge, where she keeps saying, "You have my support. You have my support." Joe even made fun of it when we did that game.
At long last, I can finally play as April O'Neil and have her pile drive a mook into the cement.
So yeah, you do have... one cool thing about the game is the online. The online is excellent. You can start... Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a co-op session with my brother, a local co-op session, but I also opened up a lobby so anyone on the internet can join us at any time if they found us. So let's see what happens.
The Atmultima.
Yeah. I'll play as Leo,
name.
and my brother will play as Casey. Go ahead. Hey, what's on the news?
Who's
Sorry,
speaking?
we don't know. I guess I'll be Vernon. Good evening, New York, and welcome back to Vernon's Views, where the view is always crystal clear. On today's show, a gift from me as a thanks for... what's going on? Where's the gift receipt? Krang, what are you up to? Of course.
Stealing the Statue of Liberty again?
Wouldn't be a TMNT game if Krang didn't steal the fucking Statue of Liberty.
Sup, New York? We interrupt this program to give you chaos. The Statue of Liberty's getting a makeover, and it's gonna look better than ever. Keep it locked here on Bebop's Beat.
Bebop's Beat?
To see her debut, or the foot's gonna get
What the shell? We gotta get to Channel 6.
Yeah, normally it would probably be April on the news, but since she's playable, not getting captured, here she is with us.
You also notice that sentence? What the shell? That's a reference to the 2003 show.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Shredder.
So yeah, like I said, the game is full of clever little nods that only hardcore fans will notice.
You know what the funniest thing about Casey being here?
He was DLC.
He was only in like 5 episodes in a 10-season run, and now later stuff tries to be like, oh no, he was always important in the '80s show. Like,
Was he like maybe important in the original comic, and that's why?
yeah.
I was wondering why they never. I was wondering why in Turtles Forever they never ran into 80s Casey.
Because he's barely a thing in the show.
Yeah, there's the thing, Jules. Casey Jones is barely a thing in the 80s show. Not to mention, I'm pretty confident Peter Laird doesn't like the way he's written, because the way they did Casey Jones, he does the thing where he fights crime, because he doesn't trust the law and shit. He does do that thing. The problem is, they make him into a big dummy type character.
Oh God, Bebop, what were you doing with that woman?
He feels more on brand as a Punisher knockoff.
Yeah, basically.
He actually is.
That's what he was in the 2003 show.
I love how some of the foot soldiers are playing a Game Boy.
No, wait. Dwebs, you have to realize, you know how the Punisher is known as being a psychopath?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically 80s Casey.
Yeah, basically.
Psycho.
I also love the how some of the foot soldiers are on the computer. Again, the game is full of clever details and really fun bits like that. Alright, let's go.
So Bebop apparently has the Riz.
So yeah, as you can see, this game is based on the 80s show, and we visit a lot of iconic... hey Burns.
I'm also glad that this is probably the first time they've done Remember the 80s show, but it feels sincere instead of just making them jokes.
It's one of those things where you can tell the people who made this game...
Did this come out before or after Nick All-Stars? Did this come out before or after Nick All-Stars Brawl?
Before. Yeah.
I could have sworn that they were at least announced around the same time.
No, this game was announced in 2020.
Basically, the brief history about the developer of this game, Tribute Games. Tribute Games actually developed another TMNT game before this. They actually developed a GBA game based on the 2003 show. According to the developer interviews, their favorite iteration of the show is actually the 80s show, because that's the one they grew up with. And when .mu approached them to make this game, they jumped right on it. So what you have here is a game made by fans for fans.
And this game, Tribute Games also made a popular beat 'em up that you guys may know called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not good, unfortunately.
So Dej, actually, Shredder's Revenge came out in 2022.
I said it was announced in 2021.
The thing is, though, Nick All-Stars Brawl came out in 2021, so technically that did precede this game.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's it. Between that and this, yeah, the 80s show was getting, the respect that it more so deserved. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, because even in the 2012 show, they still kind of paint them as jokes.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they are a bit goofy compared to every other incarnation, but it was mostly played straight.
Let me put it like this. I can understand why, people who really were a fan of the original comic may not like the 80s show, But like it or not, the 80s show is definitely what gave the franchise the big boost that would allow it to pretty much carry off
That's not
into
what we were
decades.
talking about.
This would be less of a problem. Okay, Dej, question. Like, how are the home video HD re-releases of the 2003 show? Are they good, unlike the 80s ones?
I know that was up for pre-order, but I'm not sure it's out yet.
Okay, because what they need to do is to start giving the 2003 show more love, because that's one that's more faithful to the comics anyway. So
Because they like to pretend that one doesn't exist.
which is weird, because why?
Well, I mean, okay, to be fair, like I think you guys even mentioned just a minute ago, it's particular.
Bebop, Bad News Bore.
They are putting it on DVD.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and I will mention this once because I don't want to go into another tangent about this. The problem with a lot of people out there is that they don't understand the difference between campy humor and self-deprecative humor. There's a huge difference between that. The 80s show never had self-deprecation, and that's always how they portray the 80s Turtles in those crossovers for some reason. All right.
Again, I chalk up the 2003 one
hold on.
the creator not liking it and wanting to make it look bad.
All right, here we go.
There we go.
Cowabunga!
It's a shame Bebop couldn't do the fight in that snazzy suit, but I digress. Oh, hey, Rocksteady. Hey, Rocksteady, shouldn't you be fighting alongside Bebop?
He will. He will.
Don't worry about that.
He will. We'll get to it. Remember, Joe, but that's usually the formula in these shows. Radical. You've unlocked a special request from Bern Thompson. All right, let's take a look at it in a moment. But yeah, the basic gist of it, Jova.
Hey, a reference to the NES game with the world map.
Exactly. Very good. Very good, Jova. Unfortunately, in this game, Jova, it's much more straightforward and way less frustrating. So.
You mean we're not gonna blow up Wall Street in this game?
Sorry, but no. Anyway, find all my classic headlines, you creeps. So yeah, basically, there's various newspapers from Channel 6 spread over the game. Try to find them. You'll get a reward if you do so. Also, you can go back to the Turtle Lair, check some extras, like some screenshots from the 80s show and stuff like that. Basically, a lot of cool stuff there.
So I'm guessing you're the @Multima and your brother is in America.
Yes, very good, Jova.
Where was in Portugal?
That username is a reference to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
Yes.
Alright, stage 2. Okay.
So speaking of music, who did the soundtrack for this game?
Diaglo.
Tilo.
Yep. The Sonic Minion man, the Sonic Minion himself. Well, that's the thing, Jova. He's a huge TMNT fan himself.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean,
he wasn't the only composer, because there was Anton Carassa.
Okay, I'll say this. Like, ever since Sonic Mania, T-Lopes really made it big in regards to official releases. Before Sonic Mania, he had been mainly a fan composer of sorts, but... Well,
Yeah, it was actually a collaborative endeavor between T-Lopes and Anton Carassa. But there was a special guest song by the Wu-Tang crew, Wu-Tang Clan, and the rendition of the 80s show was sang by Mike Patton.
I have to really compliment... Sorry. I have to really compliment the art direction. They really captured the look of New York in the 80s show.
Yep. No, this is just how New York actually looks like.
So Pedro, I'm curious. I'm guessing Leo's your favorite character to play as?
No, my favorite turtle is Raph. But I'm playing as Leo because why not?
Okay, I was.
Do you have this game?
So New York is full of giant
Hey, Irma.
turtles rampaging the streets.
I'm sorry, who are you asking that to?
Jova.
Oh, right, go on.
And Dwebs, actually, if you guys own this game.
I don't, but I swear, since I upgraded my PS Plus subscription tier lately. I think it's
Yeah, it's there. Yeah, it's there. Actually, yeah. It's also on Game Pass, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it left it yet. Probably not. Because I remember this game came out on Game Pass day 1, I think, if I remember correctly.
And to answer your question, Dwibs, well, you see, we have this unspoken rule about New York that if you're just minding your own business and they can wear disguises, we don't care.
Okay.
May I remind you of that picture of Spider-Man I took of him trying to climb on the trains like it was he was at the park or something.
There's this.
I can update my answer. Actually, yes, I do own the game, the PS5 version.
Well, there you go then. I'm playing the.
I own this on PS5 and Switch.
I'm playing the PS4 version on PS5 because the PS4 version, as far even by Tribute Games' own admission, has zero differences to the PS5 build, and the PS5 can record this game at 60 FPS, so it's not like I need to get the PS5 version, honestly. Yeah, but the sprite work is also fantastic and way leagues above anything that the old arcade games were capable of doing. Of course, taking full advantage of the much better technology. There are plenty of games that are adaptations of other mediums like source material, but precious few managed to 100% capture the appeal of the source material they're adapting. TMNT Shredder's Revenge perfectly captures the spirit of the 80s show because the team who made it is so clearly devoted.
Get the pizza. Get the pizza.
Don't worry, I will. Hold on.
How the turtles are voiced by their original
Yes.
actors.
Yes, unlike fortunately no union problems here. Rob Paulson and all the others are back and represent. Unfortunately, that means of course we can get my personal favorite Shredder, James Avery, to reprise as well because he's no longer among us. But oh well.
So who did they get to play Shredder?
I don't know. He does a good.
Sean Guernsey.
He does a good impression, so I'm not complaining.
He also voices Splinter in this game.
Honestly, I'll argue he does a. I don't know who they got to do the impression of James Avery in Turtles Forever, but I will argue he does a better job than the Turtles Forever guy, whoever that was.
Let's see, Sean Guernsey, Canadian actor.
I mean, Turtles Forever also got. I think was it Dan Green or Jason Griffith to voice? No,
Dan,
it was Dan.
They got Dan Green to those 80s Leo, and don't get me wrong, I love Dan Green, but he's so horribly miscast in that role.
Like if he went with his young Yugi voice, it probably would have been better.
Yeah, instead he went with his Yami Yugi voice, and it doesn't fit at all. I don't know, Joe, but if you've seen the 80s show at all, you'll know that Yami Yugi's voice doesn't fit 80s Leo at all.
Well, it depends on the tone and context. Like, on paper, that sounds awesome.
Do you guys have a time?
Got 20 minutes or something, I don't know. Or 19, maybe.
Yeah, got 19 minutes and we'll sell it.
Alright, so basically, Jova, we repeat the formula.
1910.
We fight these two solo, and later we fight them together, like we did in the previous games. 19 what, Whips?
10.
Right. Okay.
Well, have fun in that year.
Oh crap.
And now, here we go.
I love how April is recording all of this.
Hey, I gotta get first-hand footage so that I'll be the one to cover the scoop.
Alright, moving on. Stage 4.
Oh, you're not gonna speak to Irma? Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Alright.
I lost my secret diaries. Can you get them back, please?
Get ready now.
Your secret diaries.
Thank you.
Because we need a side quest.
Did you ever do any of the... Did you finish all the side quests by any chance?
In this playthrough, I don't think so, but I did do them in my own. If you.
Usually between me and
Episode
Pedro,
3.
Pedro's the one who goes for the more direct playthrough, whereas I'm the one who tends to try and include all I can in a playthrough. Well, within reason, anyway.
Depends on the game, I will argue. Like, if it's something like Ni no Kuni 2, I'll definitely do most, if not all, of the side stuff. But if it's something like this, I'm not going to lose my sleep over it.
I'm guessing you don't even really like the extras are mainly just artwork.
Basically, yeah.
Also, is that a rap I hear in the background?
Yes. I would have given them. I would have given them extra points if they had some kind of remix of Go Ninja Go, but well, we can have everything, I guess.
This level is what's the name of this level?
Mutants over Broadway.
Yeah.
What about that level? What about a remake of that song from the Coming Out of Our Shells tour where they tried to rap?
Oh god.
Wait, they tried to. Alright. Okay, I'll admit, it's been a while since I've seen Coming Out of Our Shells, so...
It's terrible. Don't watch it.
A lot from that.
It's like, that's the thing, like,
I mean, it's better than a very turtle Christmas.
well,
Okay. Is
no
it better
fucking
than
shit.
Turtles? Is it better than Turtles The Next Mutation?
Okay, at
I've only
least,
seen like 1 or 2 episodes of that.
at least the next mutation felt like it had money put into it. I mean,
The next mutation has.
It's Saban, so not much money.
but still more than those specials, though.
But you know what the next mutation has? A
female
Power Rangers
turtle?
crossover that was good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, there you go, Jova. Now we find him on their jeep. So,
I mean,
Well, it's not technically a boss fight yet.
Well, I mean, is it better than that crossover that they had to try to set up Masked Rider?
yes, I think so at least.
I have no idea what that is.
Masked Rider. It was basically.
It was Kamen Rider, yeah.
Trying to do the same thing to Kamen Rider that they did with Super Sentai. And from what I can tell, the music was good. In fact, they used it for the Digimon dub. And that's about it.
Well, if there's one thing that the band is good with, it is music.
Well,
I didn't know he was the one that was involved with the Super Show rap.
Well, Saban and Shuki Levy, they got their start in music production.
Indeed.
Lovely.
Oh yeah, as you can see, this is a throwback to those stages on the road from the early games where, yeah.
Hey, I remember this from Platinum's Transformers game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as usual, I personally would have preferred Hollow Knight style HD sprites, but this is also a great alternative anyway.
I mean, I'm gonna give them credit. They're probably going for a sprite-based aesthetic with this.
Oh no!
You know?
I can see why they're doing it. They're doing it because remember, this is all about nostalgia for the old arcade games. So let's make it look like those.
I do like that this one's blatantly the 80s games because, okay, the weird thing was, despite those games, for the most part, taking inspiration from the 80s show stuff, sometimes it was stuff that was supposed to be based on the movies instead.
Yeah, they had Toka and Rezar and everything. That's because okay, Turnerizer, Turtle Thrashing Monster Truck. There you go. I get the feeling, Joe, when Konami made those games, they took a good look at documents and some basic stuff that they were handed to by the copyright holders at the time, but they didn't actually properly watch the show. So while they do capture things properly still, you can it's not like 100% there, like you just said. This, on the other hand, you can tell this was made by people who grew up watching the show. Hey Edge, looks like another victory for the forces of good.
Let's kick some shell! Oh wait, that has 03.
Because turtles fight with honor!
Well, actually, Dwebs, when you press start on the title screen for this game, they say, "Let's kick some shell." So yeah. Well, the kick some shell thing. That's okay. In the original 80s cartoon, they do sometimes do the shell thing. They just don't do the what the shell thing. That's a 2003 line. But sometimes in the 80s show, they would do something involving the word shell, like where they replace something with the word shell. The 80s show did that too, just not as often.
Because To me, someone who's more familiar with the 03 show, every time I see 80s characters, I'm like, wait, who are you people?
Alright, everybody, tune in next time where we continue and we go for episode 4, Rumble in the Zoo.
Ta-ta.
See ya.
Yeah.